Hey, let's see. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. On the topic of dreams, I deleted over a year's worth of dreams off of my computer yesterday accidentally, and I don't know if I'm going to get those back. I had been meaning to go back and copy them down into my journals, and I just neglected to do it and never did it. So I was wondering if you had any suggestions for extreme dream recall in the event that I can't get those back.
Were they on a computer, Google Drive, or cloud?
What?
Where were they stored?
They were just like on my desktop, and I was trying to copy them, not copy them, move them onto a flash drive to make space. And then I deleted them off the desk, like the original thing off the desktop, after I had like thought that I had the stuff on the flash drive, and then I plugged the flash drive back in, and the folder of them was there, but then nothing was in the folder.
Okay.
So they're just like
Mac or PC?
PC.
Okay. I don't know PC, but you can definitely recover files usually to some extent after you delete them. So
Okay.
definitely get
I had a feeling that I could, but
you
I don't know.
may be able to recover them. Get like a data recovery. Find the best data recovery software for PC, and if not, you can also take it into a shop, and they can probably find the files for you. So definitely do that, and always back up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
But assuming you can't get them back, your question was, what do you do? Or
Well, I was in the event that I can't get them back, I was trying to come up with ideas for how to recall them, and they're old. They're from like 2019. So I don't know. It's like a memory trick kind of thing.
yeah, man, I don't know.
Up to me, I guess.
I would just say you sit there and try to remember as many as you can and just keep writing. And as long as you're still writing and focusing, they will keep surfacing. You're not going to get everything back, but
Yeah.
remember as much as you can. And the act of sitting and writing will allow them to come back. But and then just like ask, like, man, like anything I was really supposed to get, please let me have the dream again. But yeah, people are saying check the recycle bin on PC. But definitely there are data recovery services and software, so you can probably get that stuff back.
Yeah.
So
All right.
don't lose hope.
Okay. I also kind of had like another. It's still dreams, but I have recurring animal in my dreams, and I've been looking into. I get crocodiles and like alligators. I was looking at like Amit, like the Egyptian. I don't know. I'm like trying to make. I keep like a second like dream analysis thing in addition to just copying down what happens, and I've been trying to look into that. They've been happening for a long time. They come and go. They seem to be really random. They're usually kind of like just as crocodiles do, lurk in the water, and kind of sometimes they come at me. I've like fought them sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's weird, and I don't know.
What do you make of it?
Well, they could be some kind of representation of a demon that I have to face in life, or they could be I mean my half my family lives in Florida, but like like there's a lot of things. I have a whole list of the god Amit apparently eats hearts, correct?
And also
and what?
Sobek.
Yeah, Sobek. Yeah, it's like a lot to work with, and that's just like I don't know. The more you dive into your own dreams, it's like the crazier it gets.
So want to see a metric?
What?
Want to see a metric? Okay, so the crocodile is the animal totem associated with the 32nd path, or the universe card, right? Which is the first path leading away from It's the path from Malkuth to Yesod, meaning it is the path of the beginning of the opening to astral consciousness and dreaming.
I've wondered if they were like trying to block me from going like down into the like the water or whatever as like a representation of going deeper, if you will.
Or maybe it's not blocking, but there's something there. I mean, it's like, so the crocodile is the traditional shamanistic animal, if you will, of opening the dream plane.
I didn't know that.
Well, neither did I. Well, I did, but I forgot until I looked it up in 777. But there you go. So it's Kabbalistic.
I have 777. I forgot to look in there for that. Or maybe I did, but I thought I didn't find it or something.
Always check 777.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting as hell.
Yeah. The Sobek also is in Egyptian mythology is the devourer of the dead, right? So yeah. It's Anubis weighs or Thoth, depending on which version, or there may be others in other versions, Osiris sometimes. But Anubis weighs the heart of the dead, the freshly dead soul, against the feather of Mot. And if it's heavier than a feather, the soul is thrown into the realm of the crocodiles to be the Sobek, the devourer, is as a symbol of Saturn, right? Saturn is associated with the path of 32nd path as well, hence the crocodile as devourer or constrictor. The crocodile will devour the soul as not worthy to go forward, right? It's similar to kind of what you're saying. So there's a real question to self-impose, suggested in that, isn't there?
Yes.
An question.
Yeah.
You see, catch
I wasn't sure how to proceed with them. Like, as far as like, I only have so much control right now. Sometimes I can literally fly, and sometimes I can, have my ass handed to me by something scary in dreams. But I want to work with that more. It's just a matter of doing it, I guess, and maybe just focusing more mental energy on it, maybe.
Well, continue the process of dream work.
Yeah.
And probably astral travel as well. And I think, but this is all part of, this is all also totally Kabbalistically appropriate to this path and this stage, right? Which is learning to navigate the astral plane, which is everything that you're discussing. Well, sometimes you can fly, sometimes, flying is a shaman. Flying in dreams is a classic shamanic sign. And that's a classic one as well. But also sometimes you get your ass handed to you. It's like, well, why? Like, you should be able to control your experiences 100%, right? That's part of navigating the astral. And so ceremonial magic is what allows you to do that, proceeding along the path of magic. But then the question of, the crocodiles may devour you, right? Well, let me pose a counter question, which is your heart as light as a feather?
No.
Well, and if not, why not? And you don't need to answer that on the call. This is a rhetorical question for you to answer on your own, right? But that's the question, right?
Right.
Assuming you don't want to be devoured by crocodiles, right? That's the question posed by the crocodile at every level of the magical path that you meet. You can meet quite fearsome things, right? But they are often, blessing. They're guardians. They're there to make sure you go no further until you get this level. You get the point that you're supposed to get at that stage. You work through that level of your initiation. Initiation is a long process, right? It's a long process. It's your whole life.
Initiation never ends, correct?
That's correct.
Isn't that the phrase?
That's very correct. Yes, but there are definite grades and stages to the point where they're so precise that you can look them up in an encyclopedia, right? And 777, and at least in the Hermetic tradition. So the question there is, these are classic experiences attendant on your level of, so just from you positing this symbol to me, I can tell exactly where you are in your development, right? Potentially. Right? And so the question here is, well, can you control the astral? The other question is, what is the status of your soul? It's like, these are all attendant to the neophyte grade of the Golden Dawn or the AA. This is where you are to make the negative confession, right? To purify your soul. Look that up in the Golden Dawn. Negative confession. It's from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. The other experience that is often attendant upon this is this stage of development is how do I put this lightly? Evil girlfriends, right? Like the classic experience, or boyfriends for women, or it's not, or homosexual version, right?
Right.
And the classic experience attendant on this phase is meeting somebody who you become totally wrapped up in, and that is the succubus or incubus that you think is going to be the answer to all your problems, but is there to lead you astray. The vampire.
Right.
A very traumatic stage can be, right? But it often occurs right at the outset of initiation. Why? I don't know. Man, it was rough for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anybody in my life right now, but I mean, that's something to pay attention to, I guess, in the future.
So, but there's a real lesson there too, which is about being centered within yourself rather than allowing because what you're doing there is strengthening and purifying your field, your field of reality, or auric field, from vampires in the real sense, energetic.
Yeah, I mean, I have other vampires in my life. They're not women, but
through the heart, lad.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely deal with forms of parasitic things in life, I guess, whether it's people that I can't really get away from at work, or just bullshit, worldly bullshit.
Part of it. Well, what does banishing do? It's like learning the LBRP. Banishing clarifies and strengthens your field.
Yeah, I've been having a hard time with the LBRP. Not to bring up the LBRP for the millionth time on office hours. I read the blog post that you made about it too.
But yeah.
Yeah, after I read that, I ordered the Golden Dawn book, and I haven't gotten through yet. I'm like trying to do way too much, so like diving into a fat book like that is not on my plate right now. But yeah.
At your stage, the crucial tasks are as follows. The banishing ritual, that it is centering yourself within your reality is the crucial task. And that means getting your physical and material world sorted and becoming self-sufficient and being.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yep.
That's like the heavy shit that I'm dealing with right now is doing. That's I was just doing like 4 hours of setting up my, like, getting ready to do cryptocurrency shit so I can stop working jobs that have nothing to do with anything.
Great. The finances are big at Malkuth, right? So finances are critical to Malkuth. That's why they're all over Adept Initiative, right? Because Adept Initiative is a course on Malkuth, that sphere. And the next one will be Yesod, right, which is the astral. But that's the neophyte stage, and broadly speaking, in the technical sense, not you're a total noob, but in the technical sense, the neophyte stage is mastering Malkuth, right? So that's a big thing. But it's not just money; it's being rooted in your who you are as your work function, your career, right? Yeah. Working, but in a non-transitory way, like really working towards building in stone rather than building on sand. And building the base of your pyramid. A lot is very unglamorous, but it has to be done. And that's the foundation from which all else proceeds. Other experiences are kicking out, LBRP. So LBRP, yoga, kicking negative influences and vampires out of your life. And the, beginning to, and connection with higher self. And really beginning to ask yourself, all of these things are related to, it's like, well, what do you want your life to be? And what do you not want in your life? And that applies everything from personal, to external and internal. Mostly, the external is just a reflection of the internal, right? But it's getting real clear on what your life is going to be, and no one else can do that for you. And this is a really critical. This is such a rewarding stage, but very critical. And a lot of spiritual people never get here. Just the very basics, because they're totally wrapped up in expecting somebody else, some guru or something to do it for them. But they got to go through the pain of building their foundation in life. And from there on, things become much, um, not necessarily easier, but much more productive, non-wasteful, right? And that's critical. It's, there's nothing I hate more than just feeling like my time has been wasted.
Yeah, that's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'm trying to make that leap. Been doing it for a while.
Well, good. You keep going. It sounds like you're orienting, and the fact that you're having, even so, I can tell all these things all the way down to the fact that you're having crocodile dreams, right? It's just all you can just look at. Just because I know the path, it's like you just look it up, and it's like, well, there you go, right? And so this is, the path of Tao or Tav, right? The path of the 32nd path of Saturn and in the world, right? Earth and spirit, is the opening of the astral, the opening of magical consciousness, but it can only begin to open and dawn to the extent that your material world is sorted.
Yeah,
because there's nothing, it's like, you don't want to be a crisis magician where you just have you can't rub two pennies together, but you're constantly hallucinating and having visions and getting caught up in other people's stuff. I've been that. It sucks. And this is a real critical stage, and it requires letting go of a lot. Forcefully booting things out if need be, and just being real clear and strict with yourself about getting very serious about life. Not to the point where you don't have a sense of humor, but I mean in the true sense of becoming a serious person. And whatever that is for you, right? And cryptocurrency is great, but it's like, it's not just money. It's being rooted in your career function, because that is your process of unfolding who you are. In our world, it works through the mechanisms of the world is perfect as it is. It works through the mechanisms of the society that we're in. So, and jobs and work and money and capitalism and all that. So, that's the work attendant on your stage. It's basically learning the banishing rituals, dream work, astral work, and just getting real serious about sorting your physical material world out. Because all of that is the strengthening of the aura.
I thought the aura was just astral.
No, the aura is your field of perception. It's your life, right? It's your sphere of sensorium. It's like this thing that you're experiencing, right, that moves around. And the variations of it. Hopefully that makes sense. Carlos Castaneda in Don Juan talks about the tonal and the nagual, right? The tonal is, I think I always get them mixed up, but the tonal is your individual experience, right? It's like your field, your reality. And he says that has to be rock solid before the nagual, which is the world of the shamans, of the astral, can be opened. And he's totally right. Otherwise you're destroyed by the nagual.
Nagual, Nagual.
Nagual is the Toltec word, but it's in the Castaneda's books.
Okay.
Because without a solid physical existence, the astral is simply counterproductive. It's it's just like being on drugs all the time.
I took the Alchemy of Chaos over the spring and summer, and that definitely helped me to get grounded. And that's what helped me to get to this point right now.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. I mean, but the adept and alchemy together are, my rephrasing of reiteration of the work of Malkuth, right, which is all attendant upon this. So the work of Malkuth and then the paths that branch off from it, which are Resh, Tav, and Shin. So Tav is the path that you're experiencing at the moment. It's the astral. Shin is fire, which is Kundalini phenomenon, which is what the other people are talking about. And then Resh is it's a lot of, it's solar adorations, but also consciousness to some extent. Yeah.
I started the Adept Initiative over a year ago, but I ended up abandoning it to go do other things. But I guess I'll probably be a good idea to jump back into it and pick up where I left off, or maybe just restart it.
It's got everything.
Yeah.
I think I want to make sure I got that right about the paths. Oh, man. I'm sorry, it's not Resh, it's Kof moon, right? Lunar consciousness. So moon is dreams, and also you're again sorting out your unconscious and your unconscious drives and motivations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Great. And just keep going and keep at it. I mean, that's basically my advice for everyone. Everything that people are, basically everything. You have an astral question. Actually, this is the one prior were, questions about astral and magical consciousness. So magic and the questions before that were about mysticism, right? So the first three were meditation, mysticism. The next two were magic, and they're all, essentially people are reporting identifiable results that are the correct results that are written down in the book. It's like, yep, crocodile, correct. The muscular tension, correct. Leaping about phenomenon, correct. All these things. These are all like, it's as listed on the can. It's amazing why it works that way, but it does. So this is how you know that you're having real experiences. It's like you look it up and you didn't know ahead of time. And then you look it up, it's like, oh, like it says right there, that's going to happen. So good stuff.